So we all agree we could use an extra $3,000 to $5,000 right now, right? I know I could. And we all have something we could spend that money on. But what if I told you that that's the average price that a parent will pay to enter their child in a glitz beauty pageant? This $3,000 to $5,000 goes toward um, entry fees and wigs and lavish costumes and coaches and even fake teeth. So we think that's a lot of money for a little girl who wants to be in a pageant, but sometimes these little girls don't want to be in the pageant at all, and they're forced to be in the pageant by mom. These trophies and prizes, they come at a very high price for these little girls, and that's what I want to talk about today is the harmful effect of beauty pageants for children. So my proposition is the objectification of girls and children's beauty pageants have harmful effects on body image. And as I've established, children's in beauty pageants don't always want to be in the pageant. Sometimes it's about mom. And we have to remember that regardless of why they're in the pageant, um, these girls are being judged strictly on their looks. And regardless of why they're there, this can be detrimental to a developing girl. So we all have someone in our lives that we love. Maybe it's a daughter or a niece or a sister, or I mean even our mom. And we wouldn't want anyone to point out their flaws or tell them that their worth is based on their beauty. So it really falls on the shoulders of all of us to instill in girls that who they are is who they are and has nothing to do with what they look like. So body positivity and encouragement falls really on all of us. So today I'm going to be evaluating my proposition. I'm going to narrow down my argument and define my terms and thresholds. In this speech, the definition of children's beauty pageants will consist of pageants that are orchestrated for girls ages 5 to 10. And I will define glitz pageants as beauty pageants for female children who are expected to wear the wigs, the fake teeth, the lavish costumes, and things that are traditionally reserved for pageants for older women and girls. As far as my thresholds, in this speech, when I reference a beauty pageant, I'm not talking about pageants orchestrated for girls over the age of 11. Those are not included in the pageants that I'll be discussing in this speech. So for my first argument, I want to emphasize that physical beauty, emphasis on physical beauty in pageants is harmful to a girl's body image because basically a beauty pageant is just that. It's lining girls up and judging them based on their looks. And because there's so much emphasis put on how the participants of these pageants look, they're expected to act and look flawless when they come out on the stage. So the Mayo Clinic staff wrote an article in September of 2015, and it was on body image, and it was entitled Tips for Girls. And they say that how a girl learns to see herself through other people greatly affects her self-awareness and how she sees herself as she develops her own self-image. So this means when girls are at a pivotal point in their life, when they're forming their own self-awareness, they're being bombarded by authority figures like moms and parents and coaches who are telling them what they should or shouldn't look like. This brings me to my next argument, which is forcing little girls to be in the pageants when they don't want to. So my second argument is forcing children to be in pageants instills in them that their worth is based on their beauty. I always think of a little girl who's about 7 who wants to go to a sleepover at a friend's house and her mom tells her that she can't because she has to attend a pageant because mom's already invested so much money in it, and she's obviously putting herself before her daughter. And Martina Cartwright, who's a professor at the University of Arizona, she authored a paper in 2011 for the Journal of American Academy of Child and Adolescent Psychiatry, and she recounted her visit to one of these glitz pageants when she spoke with parents who told her that they often take risky financial risks to fund these pageants. So Cartwright has gave this condition a name. She calls it princess by proxy, which is derived from the term achievement by proxy. And this is when parents and adults find motivation in the success of their children. So today I've addressed the key terms and the thresholds, and my proposition was the objectification of girls in children's beauty pageants have a negative effect on self-image. And I've gone over the negativity associated with the objectification of girls in pageants, and I hope that you will take away from this that it's all of our responsibility to promote positive self-image in girls and the harm that can be done in them participating in these beauty pageants.